Hey guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because we are starting our installment to teach you about the specialty tools available to use with your Silhouette Cameo 4. Now, of course, this is a really great overview, and this is where you want to start when you're ready to dive in to learn how to use those specialty tools. So let's get started. Now, the very first thing that I want to tell you about the Silhouette Cameo specialty tools, and really all of the blades that are available for all the different Cameo and portrait models, is Silhouette America has a designated webpage that is silhouetteamerica.com/tools, and that will tell you the compatibility for all the different blades and tools that they offer. So type A is going to be tools that fit in the original or SD, Portrait 1, Portrait 2, Cameo 1, 2, and 3, and then the Curio. And it's going to give you a check mark and show you what blades can be used in what machine. So we often refer to these as the older models just because they have come out with more recent portrait and Cameo model machines. So if you have not heard of some of these blades, that's okay because they may be new to you. But just know that a lot of these, if you have a Cameo 4 or even a Portrait 3, a lot of these can fit in your adapters. You'll just have to research which tool will fit in which adapter to be able to use with your newer machine, okay? But if you scroll down a little bit, you have Type B, which is going to be both your Portrait 3 and your Cameo 4. And you'll notice that we have a difference in the auto blade because there is an auto blade that is designated for the Cameo 3. Right up here, you'll notice the Cameo 3 and the Portrait 2. This is a different auto blade. There is a difference, so you have to make sure that you are purchasing the correct one. So the auto blade for the Portrait 3 and the Cameo 4, and then there's a new pin holder for the Portrait 3 and the Cameo 4. And then Type C, which is what we're going to talk about today, these are going to be your specialty tools. This is going to be your Rotary Blade, which is probably the most commonly asked about, the craft blade, and the punch tool. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you an overview of these blades, what they're used for, and then I will give you an in-depth tutorial on each one and how you would use it in a series following this video, okay? But I just think it's really cool of Silhouette America to give us this cheat sheet. Of course, I went ahead and printed it out for my reference. If you keep any type of little notebook or whatnot, what you can do is simply print this out or jot down the tools and blades that are compatible with your specific machine. But just know that this is out here for you to reference to at any time. All right, guys, so let's talk about these specialty tools that we have right here. So this is going to be your punch tool. This is your Rotary Blade, and this is your 3mm knife blade. Now, like I said in the beginning, there is a 2mm knife blade, but just know that this one is only for the Cameo 4. The 2mm is meant for slightly thinner materials. So with the extra clearance that you get with the Cameo 4, they gave you a thicker knife blade. So that is very exciting. And then of course, this is your auto blade. It comes with your machine. Now, what I want to look at is, you notice on the bottom of the packaging, these all say Cameo 4. And the reason that that is important, maybe not so much for the Rotary Blade or the punch tool, but especially when you're purchasing an auto blade, you do need to make sure that you're purchasing the right one for your machine. So if you're ever in question, you need to make sure that it says Cameo 4 down at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and open these. Now, another important tip that I want to show you, and hopefully this will help you in case you forget, if you can tell the top of this blade, this is your auto blade, and it has a 1. Now it's still in white, but it's a little raised number 1, and this has a number 2. And that is going to help you remember which blade fits which carriage on the machine. Now, when I'm talking about the carriage, I am talking about the blade housing on your machine. This one here, now you can see that I have a ratchet blade in mine with the adapter. This right here, this very first one, that is going to be your tool 1, your carriage 1. And the next one to it right here is going to be your tool 2 or your carriage 2. So what this means is that these specialty blades that we have here, they are designated for tool 2, and they will only work in tool 2. If you ever forget, there's also a 2 right here on the little tab that you pull in and out. So what you will do is you will pull that out just like you would for your regular blade, and then you can insert your specialty blade in here. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to hold your finger underneath the tab, push it down with your thumb, make sure it is all the way down, and then push it back in. Okay, that is going to lock your blade into place. Now, if you'll notice, these also have the little magnetic pieces on the back because your Cameo 4 comes with automatic tool recognition. So in order to unlock some of the features in the software, you will have to insert the blade and allow the machine to connect and recognize your tool, and then you'll be able to access those features going forward. Now let's go ahead and talk about what each of these blades is for. Now your auto blade, you should be pretty familiar with that. I think I've said it a few times. This is the standard blade that comes with your Cameo 4. This is what you will use to cut most of your standard materials. Vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, cardstock, anything along those lines, you should be able to cut reasonably well using your Cameo 4 auto blade. The next most common is going to be your rotary blade. And I say common because a lot of people are very interested in the rotary blade. It is going to be very useful for delicate materials like vellum or some source of lace cardstock. It's also going to be really good for materials that aren't very stiff, like fabric. You can put unbonded fabric onto your cutting mat and cut it using your rotary blade, because what it's going to do is it's going to work just like a regular fabric rotary blade, and it's going to roll through the material instead of drag through the material. And what that means is that instead of a harsh drag, which is going to catch your material and cause it to not cut correctly or bunch up, the rotary blade is just going to glide through it. Like I said, if you're familiar with the rotary blades for fabric cutting, it works the exact same way. Now your knife blade will probably be the other one you have heard about. Okay, this is what we're looking at here. And you can see it has varying range of thicknesses. It actually goes all the way up to a 30, from 1 to 30. So instead of 1 to 10, like on your auto blade, it goes up to 30. Now, I'm going to twist it just to show you guys. This does work similar to the auto blade, except it is much, much thicker. Okay, it's much deeper, and it's a much more sturdy blade. So there's actually a lot more cutting area exposed to be able to cut through those thicker materials. And just be very, very careful. If you have any problems like I do with cutting yourself, be careful if you decide to expose that blade. But of course your machine will do all the adjusting for you, so you don't necessarily have to do that. And last but not least, this is your punch tool. Okay, now I had to look into this because I was like, what in the world is a punch tool? Let me go ahead and... So your punch tool, okay, it looks very similar to your standard auto blade, but what this does actually is it punches holes in your material for you for better weeding. Now it may be hard to wrap your mind around that when you're just looking at the blade, and that's why I'm going to do a full in-depth tutorial for you on how to use it. But with this blade, your machine will actually, in conjunction with the software, it will indicate the areas that you will be weeding out. And you'll be able to see that. It'll show you little circles, but it will cut a little circle in there so that it's easier for you to be able to see what areas need to be weeded. Now, this is really useful, especially if you have a hard time seeing your cut lines, or if you get confused with intricate designs on what part you should be removing. So while for some of us, we may think about the punch blade and what in the world am I going to use that for realistically, if you think about it from a practical standpoint, it's actually very, very useful. So now remember, it's important to notate that these can only be used with your Cameo 4 cutting machine, but it can be used with the standard Cameo 4, the 12-inch. It can be used with the Cameo 4 Plus, which is the 15-inch, and then also the Cameo 4 Pro, which is your 24-inch. So if you guys want to be able to check out all of these blades in depth, learn how to use them and what you would use them for, then be sure to check out our follow-up videos, which will be coming out very, very soon. So guys, how did you feel about our very brief overview of the specialty blades available for your Cameo 4? Now don't worry, we have full tutorial videos with some pretty awesome projects, if I do say so myself, and we are going to show you exactly what it takes and the reason why you would want to use these specialty blades with your Cameo 4 machine. If you have any questions or comments about the blades in the meantime, please leave those in the comment area below. If you have any requests that you want to see use these blades for, definitely make sure that you leave that too, because I will try to work in a video for you to show you just how powerful these blades are. So of course, guys, I do love to hear from you. It means a lot to me every time you pay me a visit. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified every time we post a new video. And it helps to support the channel too, so that we can keep bringing you these videos and helping you on your crafting journey. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up, but I do appreciate you stopping by. And thanks again. We will see you again next time.